Greetings, friends. Thank you for joining us for Life with Me, Myself, and I Am. This week's episode has been sponsored by Diane Richmond with Young Living Essential Oils. Young Living's Seed to Seal Guarantee offers you an all-natural alternative to daily products that promote personal health and well-being. If you want to find out more about Young Living, check out Diane's info in the show notes. Val's House would like to thank Diane for her continued support of Life with Me, Myself, and I Am. And now, back to our show.
Hello and welcome to Life with Me, Myself, and I Am. I am Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Christy. Today we're going to be joined by Chad Chaney. Steph, tell me a little bit about how we know Chad Chaney.
Well, Chad led worship for us for a couple of conferences of ours for Val's House. And oh my gosh, it is so incredible to be around Chad because the first strum of his guitar, he completely disappears. And the Lord just pours out through him. He is phenomenal and a great worship guy.
It was a really fun interview, too. We're going to get to hear a lot about this new deal he's got going on, this new musical, Third Day.
Yes.
He's
supposed
actually
to be in June.
the musical director of this over at Lifeway Church, Friendship Church.
Friendship Church.
Over at Friendship Church.
Yeah, that was great. And the new single he's got out that just came out this last month in January, First Met You.
First Met You,
Yeah, First
just
Met
released
You.
on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. Also, talking about the differences between congregational worship and personal worship. Seems like it's kind of a little bit of a hot topic. So,
yeah, it is a very hot topic in churches right now. What do you sing? Do you sing things that what is the solo, and what is for congregational singing? So that's a big deal that a lot of worship leaders are discussing these days. And we really enjoyed it. Was so laid back.
Yeah.
He's very personable. He's not,
I know when you can interview somebody sitting in a coffee shop.
Yeah. And learn the newest thing that he's tried lately is vanilla in his latte.
That's right.
So we hope you enjoy this interview with Chad Chaney. Well, Chad, we want to thank you for coming on with us this morning. And
of course.
We just want to introduce you to the world. Not sure how we're going to do that.
Hello, world.
Well, this is how.
You did.
This is how.
This is how.
Okay. Chad Chaney is a worship musician, writer, actor.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire. Yes. We met Chad when he did our worship for a ladies' conference that we had. And he was absolutely fabulous.
I still remember that.
So, Chad, tell us a little bit about what you got going on and how things have been for you lately.
Well, I've been guest leading at a different church every weekend, which has been great. So for about the past 5 months, I would say I haven't had an open Sunday, which is a huge blessing. So every weekend I'm either playing at a church that needs a fill-in that weekend, and this could go from small to big to Baptist to Methodist to non-denominational, like all across the board. And then if I'm not doing that, I'm playing an event with the band, and those are typically 3-day events. And so I would say my month is 2 guest leads and 2 events for the past 5 months. 4 months before that, obviously, none of us did anything. But I did do some like online worship for some churches in Austin and stuff like that. So that was cool.
Well,
then I did Facebook Live a lot.
Yes, we enjoyed you on Facebook Live. Enjoyed joining you and listening to some great worship music that not only you wrote, but that you, what is it called, played on others? Lucas.
Yeah, so usually on the Facebook Live, I'll do like one of mine and then one of a popular worship song and then one of mine, kind of keep that rhythm.
So, Chad, for the songs that you've written yourself, I imagine just like any songwriter, it's typically based upon your own personal experience. So, are there any songs that stand out to you? I'm sure all of them are very close to your heart, but any of them that stand out to you as maybe a little challenging to perform in front of a crowd?
Yeah, there's two. There's Breathe Life, which I went through a divorce 5 years ago, and that is all about that. It's probably my favorite song to do live because so many people come up to me after and say things like, no one knows this, but my family's in trouble, or could you just please pray for me? I don't know how to approach my husband or my wife about this, or no one knows that I've had 4 marriages. Like, it's crazy how honest people are once I'm honest on stage, and it's really awesome. But so that song is all about, the first lyric is, I don't feel like I'm ready. And I can't feel like I'm ready. It feels like the mountain is too high, but I don't find my worth in a failed relationship. I find it in you. And so you breathe life into me. You breathe life into my bones. And because of that, all I can do is worship you. And so that song is always emotional for me.
That's
on stage.
Powerful.
Sometimes people don't know, sometimes they do know. But that one, and then There's Always Grace. There's Always Grace is about, same thing. I start off with, we are broken, we are stained, we have done too much, we've done things we can't erase. But there's always grace, there's always peace, there's always goodness running after me, there's always hope, there's always love, there's always knowing that you're more than enough. And I think my main message is just finding your worth and your identity in Jesus and not in the world, because the world is not good at giving us worth and giving us identity. And so a lot of my songs come from a place of being bullied in high school, up through the divorce, up through living in Los Angeles, feeling like I had to always be somebody. I always had to earn this like status, and I don't. None of us do. And so I think that's a lot of what my songs are about. So some of them, yeah, sometimes I get a little emotional because two things happen. I really know where I was at when I wrote it, and then I'm so amazed, and I have a song called I'm Amazed that's about that too. I'm so amazed that God is using me like this when not that long ago I was in LA trying to be famous as an actor and had nothing to do with God. So that part's pretty awesome.
Speaking about your acting career, did a little research and found you in a movie?
There was a couple TV shows and a couple movies, but again, nothing that I was overly proud of. But there was one that I thought was really tough. There was two, actually. And one I shot in Marina Del Rey. So every day I got to shoot in like the most beautiful place in the world. And one in Santa Barbara, too. That was a beautiful place, too. Anyway. And one I overslept the first day of shooting. That was hilarious. That was the lead. And they were like, you can't do that.
How was it?
And I was like, do you want me here every day? How do we want to do this?
They let you come back the next day. That's great.
Yeah, really. How was the craft
like,
service table?
6 a.m. Craft service is the best part of any set, by far. The best one, if I had to say the best craft services, it wasn't even a like a major job. It was for Dell, and it was like a infomercial shot for 3 days, and it was catered every day from it's a seafood place that's unbelievable. So every day I had like steak and lobster. You can't beat that. But then studios, Paramount, Warner Brothers, they always had huge craft service tables that were amazing. So
The steak and lobster sounds
that was
wonderful.
the best
It
part.
really does.
Yeah, I know. That was pretty cool.
So, Chad, you're originally from Texas, right?
Yep, grew up in Flower Mound. Where I'm at right now, it's the Novel Coffee Shop.
I heard the latte
And
machine in the
I
back.
think it's Novel. Maybe it's Novell. I think it's Novel.
How's the coffee?
fantastic. This is the cappuccino. Here's the thing. When I drink cappuccino, I feel like a level of classiness that does not need to happen.
Are we allowed to use
when I
the
drink,
word
like, normal
bougie?
drip, just feel, yeah, it's kind of bougie, but when I drink normal drip, I just feel, like,
A peasant?
I don't know, like I can continue to go to Walmart or something, but I get a cappuccino and I got to go to Target. Like, you know what I mean?
Like a dress for the job you want, not the job you have. So
Definitely.
drink for the job you want.
Correct.
Hey, Chad, we were talking about you writing your songs. How is it different writing a worship song that you would use in a congregation setting to one that you would use just for listening and individual worship?
I'll tell you what's been happening lately, or my whole career, is I think some are going to be more personal and they become congregational. I think I write simple. Like, I think I write lyrics that people can grab onto immediately. By the second chorus, you're singing it. And even if it's like really personal, like Breathe Life, like I was talking about earlier, when I say I have secrets that I'm still hiding, people get that in the church service like crazy. And so it works. And even There's Always Grace, like when a lot of my choruses and my bridges are just rain your grace on me, it totally works in congregational settings. So, but when I originally write them, I have a song called Here and Praise You that I've never recorded, that I was like, I thought it was just my song and I was just going to do it, for me, and it's real personal. And I did it one night at a conference thing, and it became the song we did all week. And people like came to the Lord off of it. It was amazing. And so I think if you're just honest with your lyrics, people get that and they understand that and they relate to it and they forget that I wrote it quickly. And I think that's the key, to take it off me and on to Jesus quick. And I know Joel Houston said that of Hillsong. Their goal is to get off them quickly. And so I think if you write songs that are relatable and singable, everything you write could be congregational. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
How do you feel like through this kind of, especially the beginning part of the pandemic, I think a lot of artists were using all the social media platforms and things like that, doing a Facebook Live video, that sort of deal. How do you see that changing kind of the landscape of the audience that you're reaching?
I mean, it definitely, it can widen your audience for sure, but it can also be a little impersonal. So I am hoping personally that we get back to going to church on a regular basis. I'm hoping that people don't feel like, I can just, stay home and get the same, because it's about community. And even for me, there is, doing Facebook Live is awesome because I get to interact.
Mm-hmm.
People talk to me and I talk to them and all that. But I that's what wakes me up in the morning is the response. And I'm just being honest. I mean, I love being in a room full of people that are worshiping, and nothing can replace that.
Yeah, we enjoyed your
We
Facebook.
get back to that at a high level.
We enjoyed your Facebook Lives and really looked forward to them every week. And just getting to put comments to you and you actually responding right then was awesome.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah. What
that part that's as close as we can get right now,
Yeah, that's true. What was the last time you tried something new?
Yeah, I put vanilla in my mocha one day at Redefined
Awesome.
and Grapevine, and boy, that was a good choice.
Okay,
That was a
good.
good choice. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a toughie. Read the new book. Right now I'm in Revelation, which is very heavy, but awesome.
Probably, especially to be reading it right now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty awesome. I'd recommend it even right now. I'll use the study Bible with it, though. There's a lot to unpack. And it's an ongoing debate if it was, if it's literal or metaphorical, and kind of geeking out on learning all that right now. That's kind of new, because I avoided Revelation forever.
I think that's probably pretty common.
Definitely.
Yeah, I know. Still avoiding like this pretty good, but hop into Revelation.
What is your favorite Third Day song that is in the musical that you're doing in June?
I See Love. It's like the world sees all this stuff, but I see love. It's really solid song. I see love. I see grace.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool.
Chad, we know a little bit about this musical, but for our listeners, can you just share some more details about this musical and how that's coming together and what the basis of that's going to be?
Yeah, so it's June 12th, June 13th at Friendship Church in Frisco, and it just started. He has to cast it next week, I think. The cool thing is I'm on board for the whole process, and there is a director, but I'm the music director. And it's going to be, I think it's about 9 actors, about 3 storylines. It's 15 songs that are all Third Day. We're talking about putting my own songs in there too. I don't necessarily need to do that unless it serves the show, but he wants me to do that, so we're going to possibly figure that out. There's a couple songs that he likes already, which is great. It's really cool. But anyway, so it's all about 3 different storylines, 3 different people that are struggling in life, and basically ultimately find Jesus in different ways, in a cafe, in a church, on a road. And it's also 3 acts. It's a really good script, and I think the 2 shows is going to be the beginning of it, because there's a church in Georgia that might want to do it, and another church elsewhere. So I'm hoping that it becomes kind of toury, and we can do it at some other places. But just honored to be the band that gets to not only play it live, but I get to be a part of the whole process the whole way. Get to some rehearsals and some of that stuff. Get to really direct these actors and singers, and that part's going to be really cool for me. So June 12th, June 13th, it's a ways away, but Frisco Friendship Church.
We'll make sure to
great church, by the way, too.
We'll make sure to include all the details of that.
Yeah, in our notes. Does Third Day know about the musical?
Yeah, because he had to get licensing, whatever.
What did they think of it?
I mean, I don't know what their response was or anything. He just said that. He just said he had talked to their people and clear it. So I don't. So well, does Matt Powell know? Maybe not. But does his people know? Yeah. I would say that's probably more accurate. And also, I have no idea what their guys in the band's names are. Unfortunately, we only know the lead singer.
Sometimes that happens. Hey, what is something that you would hate to go without for a day?
This.
You and me both.
I mean, I started the morning with my Keurig, and then I'm here drinking this, so there's no way I can go without coffee. And then I hit a decaf at night, like it's the stuff. That's new though, probably in the past like 4 years. What else? Worship music. I listen to it every day.
Well, what advice would you give to worship
that.
leaders who are not able to lead in person right now? I know we talked about we hope we can get back soon, but what would be your advice that you would give to them now?
Well, go lead in person. I've been doing it for 5 months. Like, I think they can if they really want to. I think there's outlets for sure. There's definitely a lot of churches that are getting together. Now, outside of that, I guess the Facebook Live is the best thing to do for that, so that you can interact. I know that I share that kind of passion with most worship leaders. We want that response, and we want to feel like we're all doing it together. So just that. But then outside of that, just continue to worship on your own. that's some of my sweetest worship, is just where no one's watching. So I would say that first. I would rank those 3, 2, 1. First, worship yourself. Second, try a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live or anything like that. And then third, look at Facebook. There's lots of places that need worship leaders now that I see.
Absolutely. Well, we just had just last week, you had your song was released on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
First Met You. So tell me about that process. How did that? Tell me anything that you can about that process.
That was pretty cool. I was actually in Nashville at the time, and I was hanging out with a guy. We were just writing some other stuff, and I was writing on another project. And I told him, I said, I have this chorus idea that I sang in my car the other day. I just sang the chorus, and then I just told him it's all about the first time we met Jesus and how excited we are and were, and getting back to that. And he really liked that idea, and he happened to be a producer also. And so it happened pretty quick. We knocked out that right, and knocked out the verses and the bridge. And since I was there, I knocked out a vocal. It was just a scratch track. And then about, I'd say 3 months later, he had the full song done. And then I went back to Nashville, cut the vocal, and he got some people to sing background and this and that. And he got an incredible guitar player to come in, and it was really a cool process. It's definitely a Nashville sound, and I love it. It's a big sing along, and very different to my last single, Rags to Riches, which was more piano and introspective. So I definitely like to do one that's more like that, and then a big sing along, and then one that's more like that, and then a big sing along. I like to change it up like that as far as releasing singles. And we're not really cutting records anymore necessarily, so it's really more of a singles game at this point. And so I definitely have some new stuff coming out, but right now we're going to sit on this one for a couple months and kind of add it to the rest of the stuff that's already there, and then we'll have a new one and kind of do it like that.
Well, we want to ask you a couple of questions. We call them the Fast Five. And just single answers real quick. And we're going to ask this of everyone that we talk to. So what is the weirdest thing that you've bought during the pandemic?
I think the weirdest thing I thought was in the first month that it would all go away in the first month. Because I was way off. The whole time, all right, well, we're about to be done with this. And we weren't, and still aren't. So I think that's a thought that I'm so positive. So I always think we're about to be done with this. So that was pretty. Looking back, when you think about 8-9 months ago, thinking well, we'll deal with this for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll go ahead and get back to it. Feels weird.
Okay, question 2. What's one thing you want to get rid of, but you can't? No spouses or kids.
I want to get rid of?
At your house.
What? Oh.
Yeah, what's one thing you want to get rid of at your house, but you can't? No spouses and kids.
I don't love my couch right now, but I thought I was going to love a Chase Lounge. I don't. It always feels weird. I can't really get comfortable on it. I don't know if I'm supposed to lean way back or kind of sit up, throw the legs up. I'm not really sure how to deal with that. So I think that's it.
The Chase Lounge.
That's awesome. If you could go back in time and tell a younger version of yourself one thing, what would it be?
You'll be fine, bro. You'll be fine. Keep running for Jesus. You're going to be fine. Here's the other thing I would say. You might do some of the coolest things in your life in the middle. Quit trying to think once this happens and once that happens. I opened up for Michael W. Smith in an arena. That might be the peak of my whole career. great. It was phenomenal. So, I think that's it. Appreciate along the way, because if we keep going, once I do that, then once you get there, it's not going to be good enough either.
Both sound pieces of advice.
Definitely.
Okay, now this one is real serious. Over or under the toilet paper roll?
Wait a second. I'm not sure that I have a clear perspective here, because sometimes I just put the roll on and I will go, wow, I went under this time and it didn't bother me. So I think over, but if an under gets in there, I think I'm going to be okay with it. That's what I'd say.
Awesome.
I'm not going to change it mid-roll.
Yeah. That's great.
Even though it's literally
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Great.
You don't care enough. It's
No. Yeah. All right.
Doesn't bother me enough.
If you could collaborate with any one artist in history, who would it be?
Lead singer of Mercy Me. Bart. It's easy. That's a layup. I think he's probably seems like one of the most down-to-earth guys, but I think he's the best singer we've ever had in the genre.
all right. Well, Chad, thank you again so much for your time today. We really appreciate you joining us.
Of course. This was awesome.
We look forward to next time when Chad's with us. Maybe we'll get a song out of him.
Get a performance.
Yeah, sorry about that. I know my guitar, I usually have in my back pocket, but I didn't have it today.
That's all right. We look forward to seeing you again next time.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Chad. You can find
Right.
information.
Thank you, guys.
You can find information about Chad and about his music in our meeting notes at the bottom. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask him for next time, put them in the comments below. And you have a terrific day.
You as well. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks,
Honored to be on
Chad.
here.
See ya.
See ya.
Chad was a terrific guest on the show, and I really look forward to the next time that we get to visit with him.
Absolutely. Even better having a local hometown boy here.
Yeah, local talent, making it big, opening for Michael W. Smith. Wow,
That's
I
huge.
did not know that.
That's huge.
Yeah. What stood out to me the most was the songs that meant so much to him. I mean, they were personal to him, and some of the personal songs actually translated into worship songs and congregational songs. Yeah, and
I like
you write from that point of view and from that emotional depth.
Absolutely. I loved the passion that he was talking about when, he kind of gets in that zone, whether it's like First Met You that he was talking about that he wrote in Nashville, or, any of these other ones that, maybe are more personal, kind of a deeper, meaning for him. I liked how he kind of brought that process to life, I guess.
I'm so excited that First Met You is on Spotify now.
That's awesome.
That is just so great.
That's fantastic.
And then he's been signed to the Worship People label out of Canada. That's what he said. And just a few of us down here in the Lone Star State are on this label. So we're very, very excited for him. He does a lot of guest worship leads, which is interesting in this day and time with the pandemic, and certain churches aren't meeting, some are, just to go to the different places and locations and lead worship for the congregation, be it in person or online, like we've been doing for a while.
Right.
So
right. I love that they have all these different outlets, the Facebook Live and being able to be a guest worship leader, and that sort of thing. I love that all those are available too.
About a great project he's working on right now, which is the musical.
Oh, Third Day.
Third Day Songs.
Oh.
3 different acts. It's going to be at Friendship Baptist Church coming in June.
That's right.
So I'm so hoping that we actually get to see this in person. And if not, I hope they do what Hamilton did and decided to go ahead and release it so everybody can see it.
That'll be so exciting whenever he, like he said, we hope, they get to take it on the road and go to Georgia, and that'll be so awesome for them.
Phenomenal for him. Well, we really did appreciate him coming on and sharing with us a little bit about himself and how he deals with what's going on. We thank you all for listening, and we will see you next week.